Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go get started here with basically the first day of 7.6. Alright, we're solving for x. We're not going to have a decimal answer, so we're going to stay away from the calculator here if we can. So we're going to subtract 4x over. We always move the smaller x over to the other one. So I'll get a 6x equals negative 30. Divide both sides by 6. And we're going to get x is equal to negative 5. Does not ask us to check, but if you wanted to check, all you would have to do is put this 5 back in. This negative 5 would be negative 50 equals negative 30 minus 20, because negative 5 times 4 is negative 20, and negative 50 would equal negative 50. So there's really no excuse. If you get the wrong answer, you would know. You should know if you're right or wrong by just plugging the number back in. All right, so we get 2 here. I'm going to look at negative 6x and negative 6x. They're the same thing. So it doesn't matter which one I move. Now, what's interesting about this is, I'm going to get 32 equals 17. That will never be true. 32 is never equal to 17. So in this solution would actually be, there is no solution. There's nothing you can put in for x there in the original. That's going to make it 32 equal to 17. Going down to 3 here, I'm going to move the smaller x to be consistent. So I move him over, I get 2x equals negative 10. I'm going to divide by 2, and that being negative 5. So x equals negative 5. Again, if you want to check that, that would be negative 25 equals negative 10 minus 15. Yeah, that's going to give me negative 25 both sides. So I know that I did it correct. Okay, what do we got? I'm going to move the smaller x, so I'm going to add this 5x over. I'm going to add this 5x. Okay, so he goes bye-bye. I'm going to get 4x plus 13 equals 30, because I'm going to combine these. 10 and 20 make 30. Let's minus 13 to get that 4x by itself. We're going to get 4x equals 17. I'm going to divide by 4. So x is equal to 17 fourths. And I can leave it like that. If you wanted to write it as 4 1/4, that's acceptable as well, but that is it. No decimal answers as per directions. So let's go ahead and look at 5 and 6. Starting in 5, I'm going to get rid of the fraction first by multiplying the denominator out. That leaves me with 2x minus 20 equals 100. Looks like I'm going to add 20 over. 2x is equal to 120. Divide by 2. X is equal to 60. Okay, just to check it to make sure it works, I'm going to put 60 in here. 2 times 60 is 120. 120 minus 20 is 100. And then if I divide by 4, that would be 25 equals 25. So 60 is correct. All right, go ahead with number 6. I'm going to distribute this 4 in, so I get 4x minus 12 equals 32 minus 2x. Negative 2x is smaller than positive 4x, so I'm going to add it over and get 6x minus 12 equals 32. All right, opposite of subtracting 12 is to add 12 over. You get 6x equals 2, sorry about that, 44. All right, and then I'm going to divide by 6. Now that's reducible. I'm going to divide these both by 2. So that'll be 22 over 3. Or you can think of that as 7 1/3. All right? And going over to the back. All right. You can see the directions are staying the same. So in 7, I'm going to move the smaller x again. Or should I say smaller y? So I'm going to add 17y over. I'm going to combine like terms on the other side as well. But 6 and 17 make 23y. This would be plus 10. Negative 22 and 4 make negative 18. I'm going to subtract 10 over. I'm going to get 23y equals negative 28. Divide by 23. Divide by 23. Y is equal to negative 28 over 23. All right? All right, come in here, multiply the 7 in. Ooh, I can combine negative 2z and 7z, so that'll be 5z. This is going to be 21 minus 7z. He's smaller, so I'm going to add 7z over. That's going to be 12z equals 21. Divide by 12. And then I'm just going to reduce this by 3. So that'll be 7 over 4. So 7 fourths, because I divided these both by 3 to get 7 over 4. All right? Okay, so I'm going to erase this. I'm going to keep moving down here. Slow and steady wins the race, although you're probably thinking I'm going a little quick. So quick and steady, I guess. 8x and 4x. That will be 12x, and I still have this negative out in front. 12 minus 11 is 1, so I have 1 plus 3x. Now, I'm going to add the 12x over for good measure. Since 0 equals 1 plus 15x. Subtract 1 away, so I get 15x equals negative 1. Divide by 15, so x is negative 1/15. Number 10. Distribute the negative 3 in. So we get negative 3x minus 27. 14 minus 5 is 9. I'm going to add my 5x over, because that's smaller than a negative 3x. Negative 5 is smaller than negative 3. So see how I get a positive 2x here? And I'm going to add 27 over to get that x by itself. 2x will equal 36, and then half of 36 is 18. So that one works out pretty nice. All right. So notice I combine like terms here to get the 9, distribute the negative 3 and to get this, move him over, divide by 2. And this is where the fun happens, because most people really enjoy doing fractions, and I think that's it for today. But let's go ahead and do the ones with the fractions. 11 is a precursor to 12. If you notice, my denominator that I'm going to try to get rid of is 5. So I multiply 5 out at the bottom. So that's 3x plus 8 equals 105. Subtract 8 as usual. You get 3x equals 97. As you would borrow. 15 minus 8 is 7. 9 minus 9 is 9. We are now going to divide by 3. You can keep it as 97 thirds. Or you can write this as 32 1/3. Either way, they're the same thing to me. All right? Now, in 12, we're going to cross multiply. What happens here is opposite of dividing by 3 is to multiply by 3. Okay? Opposite to divide by 5 is to multiply by 5 this side. So the trick that mathematicians came up with to save that step was take this, multiply by this, and then we'll take this bottom and multiply the top by it. So 5 times 2 is 10x, 5 times 7 is 35. And you do this when fractions have an equal sign between. Notice that's an equal sign. That's why you cross multiply. Now, on the other side, we have this 3 times 9x, which is 27x, and 3 times positive 14, which would be 42. Once you get there, it's business as usual. I'm going to say 10x is smaller than 27x. Leaves me with negative 35 equals 17x plus 42. I'm now going to subtract 42 over. So 17x is what I have over here. I'm adding these. That's 7 and 7. It's negative. I am now dividing by 17. Well, 17 is a prime number, and 17 is not going to go into that evenly. Okay, so you can leave it as negative 77 over 17, or, let's see here, 4 times 17 would be 68, so it could be negative 4 and 9/17 as well. Either way, same answer to me. So, with that being said, that's the end of the section. Feel free to comment or ask questions in class. I'll see you guys on part 2 here shortly. So, have a great day. See you in class.